Welcome on in to Fox 10 Talks here. We had a little preview there of our upcoming guest, Joe Fortunato. We'll get to him in just a second. First off, we got to say, Ellen McNamara joining us here at 3 o'clock. We always call this is the sweet spot right here. Tuesdays at 3 o'clock. This is the primo spot. Yeah. The prime time of Fox 10 Talks. This is the top spot right here.
What? Really? Mm-hmm. Well, I think my television or my streaming show. I always say television. My streaming show, I think, is actually number one. Steve, I think The Curious Bee is number one every single week. So thank you, streaming audience. I love you guys. But no, this is a lot of fun. This is my second day actually in a row helping out. So yeah, happy to be here.
Happy to be sitting down with you and chatting with you. Mostly because we got swag.
We do. Yes, Fox 10 Talks.
We got T-shirts. Who doesn't love T-shirts?
That's
T-shirts.
True.
I'm a Fox 10 talker on the back. Don't you want one of these?
There we go.
Do.
Yeah,
you want one?
And you can get one, and it's very easy. All you need to do, folks, if you're just joining us right now, is go to fox10phoenix.com/contests. That's all you got to do.
That's it? Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I'm really happy you wrote
And fox10phoenix.com/contest. Fill out the little sheet there, and then basically every Tuesday for the next month, we will reveal a winner, and then we'll send you a T-shirt.
You too can own a T-shirt.
Fox 10 Talks.
Have you ever won a T-shirt cannon contest, like at a game?
Oh yeah.
Have you ever gotten one?
I think I have. I don't remember. It obviously wasn't that memorable if I don't remember, right? Right. But no, I mean, we always stand up at like the D-backs games, or
and you hope it's going to get to you, but if you're not in the first 10 rows, you don't stand a chance.
Usually don't get it.
My first ever Angels game as a kid, they did a T-shirt cannon, and it landed. I got the T-shirt, and I was so excited. This thing was a men's extra large.
Oh.
Absolutely went like past my feet.
Yep.
I wore that thing until it was threads.
Oh.
That was the coolest little shirt.
Yeah.
Loved that thing. And I mean, I just got this today.
Okay.
I think this is my new wear it to threads.
Well, and it probably fits you probably a little bit better than the triple XL.
Let's do it. Let's do
probably XL.
Let's do the. It is an XL.
Yeah.
So
but triple XL. But no, but you had the triple XL though, right?
So let's do the first T-shirt contest. We're gonna do the.
Okay.
I'm gonna do it like this. So get ready to catch it home. Okay. Get ready. I'll throw it to you. Got it. It landed right on top.
I hit a camera too. There you go. So yeah, y'all, fox10phoenix.com/contest. Fill it out, and every Tuesday we will announce the winner. So just do it right there.
I really hope that a 6-year-old was just on the other end of the street.
Yeah.
Caught it
Right.
Like that.
Yeah. We do have a jam-packed show, and it is very entertainment heavy today. Yeah. And frankly, I mean, so today, huge news in the movie world. Robert Redford unfortunately died. And I mean, gosh, legend, 89. And, looking back at some of the movies that, just that he was a part of, acting, directing, producing, wow. So we'll talk about that. And then we also are talking with Danny Zelisko, who, if you know anything about music in the Valley, or just music in general, he is the dude, like, in the Valley when it comes to music. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. And he knows, like, everybody when it comes to music. I mean, he's like, anybody who has ever been anything in the music world, he knows them, he's promoted for them, and has been a part of their show.
I'm always so intimidated to talk to people like that because I feel so uncultured when it comes to music that it's so intimidating to talk to someone that just knows everyone and everything about it. I just want to listen like that.
Yeah.
So
and he will be in house, so he will be here.
There's a chair next to Ellen. He will be filling that
He will be there. Yeah.
But first off, let's go ahead. Let's start talking Robert Redford. We have fantastic guest, Joe Fortunato, professor over at Arizona State University, joining us on Zoom right now. Joe, let's go over your credentials right now, because we're going to spend about, I think, 9 hours going over all of Robert Redford's credentials. I mean, it's unreal. You got the Fortunato Film School. You have done everything film-related out in L.A., and now you're here teaching kids at ASU, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Get me started here. Big picture. Is there really anyone that's had a larger role in the film industry than Robert Redford over the last, 50, 60 years?
Yeah, probably not.
Well, I mean, his career, thank you. First of all, thank you for having me here. It's a sad day because Redford was truly an icon. I mean, I know we toss that word out so often, legend, we toss that out, but they both apply in this case. And you're right, it's been longevity. I mean, he first came, into our sort of consciousness in the 60s and really has never left. And when I was growing up, the he was sort of the dictionary definition of what a movie star was, and we don't have very many movie stars anymore, and he was definitely one of them, and still is.
Yeah. Looking at some of kind of the list of movies, and I mean, Butch Cassidy, the Sundance Kid, that was, going way, way, way back. But I mean, some of the stuff that he did with Paul Newman, kind of the bromance that they had together, and then what they did even outside the film world as far as just kind of their environmental causes and political causes and things like that, that was really interesting as well. But when you talk about just kind of being the movie star, I mean, he was like the big movie star with my mom and dad. I mean, my parents are kind of a similar age, and he was kind of like our Tom Cruise. I mean, when you kind of talk about generations, Tom Cruise is kind of like our big movie star right now, a Brad Pitt kind of. Robert Redford was, to an older generation, like the guy. And the thing about him that I thought was so cool, he just looked phenomenal. I mean, the hair, I mean, like, he didn't have to do anything. He just had the look.
He was a movie star.
Right, Joe?
Well, it's a funny story about his looks. I mean, absolutely. I mean, again, he was sort of the textbook definition of a good-looking, masculine male of the 70s. But sometimes that hurt him. He was going up for the role of Benjamin in The Graduate, believe it or not. So this is way, way back in the beginning. And, the character of Benjamin had trouble with women. And so they asked him in the interview, Bob, tell me about a time you've had, trouble dating women. And he goes, well, what do you mean? And they go, okay, he's not right for this part at all, because that just sums up, his looks, his all-American looks. And, that just, even as an older gentleman, he just sort of had those iconic looks. And he came onto the scene, like I said, he is a star in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. You mentioned his chemistry with Paul Newman. They went on to do The Sting, which won a Best Picture. And then, ironically, talking about The Graduate, he ended up working with Dustin Hoffman on All the President's Men. And just so many great films. And as a director, we can't forget that he was a great director. His first time out as a director, he won the Oscar for Best Director for Ordinary People. And he kind of paved the way for actors that would be directors like Kevin Costner and Mel Gibson and so on and so forth. So many pioneering aspects to his career as well.
What a good point right there. I mean, it's unreal, your first time ever doing something, for someone to give you the award for being the best in the world at it.
Yeah, totally.
That's crazy. And I love that you mentioned Brad Pitt too, because my introduction as a kid to Robert Redford was Spy Game.
Oh, okay.
Loved that. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, I like this guy. He's fantastic. Let me see more. I fell in love as a kid to the Bourne Identity TV miniseries before the movie The Bourne Identity that he was on. He played the original Jason Bourne before Matt Damon did.
That's true.
And I loved that. And I think that's something, his filmography is just so vast and incredible like that. Had so many impacts and all of that. Time, I know they listed him as one of the top 100 most influential people in the world in the early 2000s. I think you have to agree with that when you think of all the things he had going on out there. Want to ask you, though, about what role stands out to you as the one, when we look back on his career, we're going to say, that's Robert Redford?
Boy, that's so hard to say. I guess it depends on sort of what perspective you're coming from. As a culturally, I would probably have to say, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. I mean, we haven't even mentioned this yet, but another really integral part of his legacy is the Sundance Film Festival. He named that after his character in that movie. What a good point. Critically, probably Ordinary People for winning, like you said, just right out of the gate, winning Best Director for his first directing. As an enduring audience favorite, it's probably The Sting. or The Natural or something like that. So many favorites. I think it kind of depends on what genre you're into, or what your age bracket is, or just where you're coming from in terms of what you want to appreciate by this artist, because he did so many things.
Yeah, there was a one, like a newer movie. I mean, newer, I say like 93, and I'd forgotten about Indecent Proposal.
Oh yeah,
that was, I mean, the premise was pretty bad. But I mean, Demi Moore was in it, Woody Harrelson was in it, and I was just watching a scene from it. Billy Bob Thornton, like a very young Billy Bob Thornton, was in it, and I mean, you talk about Robert Redford playing a billionaire. He played a billionaire perfectly in that movie. Yeah. And so, that was kind of one of those, roles where if you hadn't seen him and you weren't alive, had no idea that he was around for Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, then you might have seen him maybe in Indecent Proposal. And
well, he goes way back to early Twilight Zone episodes. He was a guest on a Twilight episode back in the early 60s. So, you can see him as a young actor then. He wasn't just a leading man. He was really the symbol of a generation there, mostly in the 70s, but so many other decades, as we've talked about. And he had a quiet charisma that, you could sort of look at him as, oh my gosh, he's this, gorgeous human being, but he was also a little bit of an everyman, and his characters were flawed sometimes. And so he was relatable to people in that way. And I think that's a big part of his appeal.
I think you're 100% right. I know my dad would always talk about him, and then he loved Harrison Ford too, from Indiana Jones specifically. And it was just like, those were just guys he related with and wanted to be, and all of that vibe. And then growing up, you do that. I remember watching The Natural with my dad.
True.
Like, I remember being introduced to that, and that guy was just awesome. And everything he did, such a sad loss that he's not going to be here, because he was making movies up until just a couple of years. What was the last thing he was in? Like 2018, I think he was in Avengers or something. I think I didn't see that, but
yeah.
Are you going to be talking, I imagine, to some of the students there at ASU? Is this when there's a moment like this, you talk to them about moments and actors like this?
Well, anytime I can get a chance to talk about film history to my students, I do. We focus a lot on film production here at the Sidney Poitier New American Film School, but I have a soft spot in my heart for film history, and he is certainly a big part of that. But like I said, the fact that he was a proponent of independent and young filmmakers through his Sundance Film Festival is a huge thing. That's still a huge thing, even for our young filmmakers coming out of ASU. Now.
But I got him one day, and it was amazing.
Welcome back, everybody, to Fox 10 Talks. Ellen McNamara, Steve Nielsen, and Danny Zelisko is joining us now to talk a lot about music. Now, before we get into some of the shows that are coming to the Valley, we did want you to share the story about The Natural. We were just talking about Robert Redford. Please share this story because it is amazing.
It was so weird this morning. I woke up and I saw that he had passed, which is really sad. One of my favorite guys. And he did that movie, The Natural. I'm a big baseball fan. And I always loved that movie. And I was in this auction last week, which every now and then I get into. And there was an airbrushed Gibson guitar with the Natural of the picture of him, the famous pose. And I haven't seen it yet, but it's got other pictures on it from the movie. And it's signed perfectly across the pit guard. I can't wait to get it. And it's, I just bought it, and now he's gone.
Wow.
I didn't even realize he was 89.
Wow. But signed by Robert Redford.
Yeah.
And it's coming to you.
It's on its way.
That is amazing.
How cool. That connection between him and music and combining all those sorts of passions.
I didn't really get it exactly, him and a guitar, but it was too good to pass up.
Wow.
Because I love that movie.
Wow. My goodness.
Yeah.
So, I always say that you are the guy when it comes to music in the Valley, promoter. I mean, and have known everyone who is a musician, a band, whatever. And so you're here to kind of promote some of the bands that are coming to town. So first up, Styx. Right?
Yeah, we have a lot of shows coming. Styx has been coming. I did their first show at Macy Amphitheater years ago when they first got back together. It was like over 30 years ago.
Wow.
But since about 2017, they've been making yearly visits to the Celebrity, and then it grew into doing 2 shows at a time. It could be 3, but we're going to keep it to 2. We just went on sale with a pre-sale today that we extend to people who have been to our shows before. Hey, now.
It's all right.
It's not supposed to be on. They heard
You're
me.
busy. It's
they heard.
Yeah, they're like, we got to book all these things. What's going on?
But it goes on sale Friday. There's 2 shows in January, 9 and 10. And they're also coming to Prescott Valley on the 11th and Tucson on the 7th. So they're opening their 2026 tour here in Arizona with us.
Wow.
That's awesome. You might remember this better than I do. My first time seeing Styx was as an ASU student back in the day. This was, I want to say, like 2007, New Year's, Tempe Town Lake. I think they played.
When we booked those.
That was your show.
That was out at the lot off of Mill Street somewhere.
Yes, yeah. So here I am, this what am I, 19 at this point, and Styx is just playing out here.
Yeah, and it's free.
Free to see Styx out there. I mean, it was just an unreal experience.
Yeah.
I've seen them other times since then because I just loved it so much. They're just one of those bands I really encourage everyone
They're
to see.
really great. It's a fun rock show, and anybody who's into rock music should see that.
And what's cool is they actually play their songs, like the songs that you love. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Come Sail Away. They're going to play that. They're going to play Mr. Roboto. They're not going to play hey, we were just
fake
working.
Songs.
We were just working on this like 6 months ago. What do you think,
they slip in a new song or two, and their fans are so devoted, they eat it up. They love it. And it's the best way to try out new material. It's on stage.
What else you got going on?
The Stray Cats are coming. Brian Setzer's been off for a little while.
Yeah.
He took some personal time off, and he rejoined with his mates to do that. We haven't had the Stray Cats here. I remember I had them in the early 80s at the Coliseum.
Wow.
And I think they played a bike rally once, but I haven't done a show. We had Brian Setzer every Christmas, and he's fantastic.
And where are they playing?
Celebrity.
Okay. And when again?
November 16th.
Okay.
The day after Christmas pudding, which is the 15th.
Wow. What does it say about these bands that are still playing and still getting out there? And obviously some of them have, they've broken up, they've gotten together. They maybe replaced a member here and there, but they're still out there touring.
Well, what else are they going to do? I mean, they've been working on this and doing it ever since they were kids, most of them, 12 years old, 15 years old. And they got some success. There's no other job they're going to get that pays better. I mean, especially in the case of the guys we're talking about. And it's fun. It keeps them young. I mean, if I didn't do shows, I wouldn't be able to be around all these great people who have become friends over the years. This is how we visit. This is what we do. And I'd hate it if they left. I mean, when they leave, I got to leave because, you know, then it won't be any more fun for anybody.
Yeah.
But what is it about the personalities of everyone involved in this industry that you work with so well? I mean, it doesn't sound like you're saying there's a lot of jerks in this industry or anything like that. It's a lot of people you're getting along well with.
You know, when I started in the 70s, which sounds like a long time ago, but it feels like last week, I'm telling you. All these people were younger, just like I was, and we were all learning this business at the same time. There wasn't a music business that you have today then. And just like, you know, there was Sinatra and Dino and all those guys back in the day, but the rock bands that came up and became really important and really popular when people, that's what they looked for something to do. They didn't have the phone. They didn't have an iPad. They didn't have a tablet. So they had to make their own fun. And going to concerts was it. The radio stations were way more open to playing new music, and they did. And all of those groups in the 70s, 80s, 90s still fill the airwaves today. So that's why they can still tour. And, you know, the Eagles, I mean, they're never going to go away, and it hardly matters who's in the group.
Yeah.
You know, you got Henley in the group, and everybody else, you know, Joe Walsh is great, Tim Schmidt, Vince Gill's in the group. I mean, one of the greats. So they can keep interchanging people, great people who are similar to them, and people still love it because they recreate the songs live perfectly. There's nothing like seeing somebody play live.
Yeah.
Just like you go to a football game, every game is different. You know, every show is different. And when you're a fan of somebody, you just can't get enough of it.
Yeah. The Eagles are at the Sphere right now, and
I want to see The Wizard of Oz.
Oh, yeah, that's...
You know,
the movies.
I've been there for some shows, but the Wizard of Oz is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah,
I think it'd be too overwhelming for me. I feel like I get seasick.
Oh, no, I've been there a few times.
No, you know what? It's really
great.
incredible.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. What shows did you see there?
I saw U2 there
I saw U2.
and Dead and Company.
Okay, yep.
Which was amazing.
Yeah.
It was a great way to see them.
Yeah, and I mean, Dead and Company, they played for like 4 hours, right? So they played for 4 hours, and then I also saw like Backstreet Boys where they played like an hour and a half,
right.
You know, and it was like hour and a half, and they're out.
Well, they got like 6 songs. They're incredible songs.
But remember, their songs are about 2.5 minutes long, too.
Correct, right.
You know, the Dead songs are 20 minutes.
Right.
They played 4 songs.
Right, that's true, right.
And speaking of those songs, I mean, there's some of these bands, right? They've got like their 3 main hits that they have to play every single
lucky.
show. Right, if you're right. If you're lucky, you got those 3 big hits. When you talk to these guys, do they say they are sick and tired of playing those same 3 songs? Or they still
on the contrary, they're so happy they have those songs. I mean, you know, people are looking forward to seeing you. Where else are you going to go and get paid to do something that you created years ago?
Yeah.
In some cases, 50 years ago.
Yeah.
It's remarkable, and that's what keeps them young, is that people keep coming back to see them, and it's like they're recreating stuff over again, and it brings them back to when they were 15 or 20, 30, when they wrote those songs. So that young person comes out when they're playing live, and that's what people see. It's magic. It really is.
Moody Blues, that's another show too.
It's John Lodge, the one of the original guys from the Moody Blues, has carried on the tradition of doing the Moody Blues music because nobody else is. Everybody died. You know, and it's a shame. Justin Hayward's still alive, but they are not together anymore. John does all the great Moody Blues songs, one of the nicest men in the world. I became friends with 30 years ago anyway, over golf and wine while we're, you know, forget the music. But his music's great. He's got a great band. What's interesting with that one is his wife married the singer from Yes, John Davison, and now John comes and sings with John Lodge. So when he's not, so the Yes books their tours around John Lodge dates so that John can do both bands.
Wasn't there a guy in the Eagles who was in Yes, or no?
No.
Maybe not. Okay, never mind.
How important is it, do you think, in your line of work to be friends with these bands?
It helps.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, because people that create this kind of energy, this kind of, you know, compositions and things that become part of people's lifestyles, and they're just their lives. They're very interesting people. They're very complex, but they're also very normal for the most part. When they first were coming up 30, 40, 50 years ago, They were new to it just like everybody else was. Then you tour for a while, you get used to it, and you calm down a little bit, and you realize you can't blow your brains out after every show because they're so wound up from the excitement and the creativity, the rush of an audience screaming for you, wanting you, and then they get off stage and it's like, I'm in a hotel room.
Yeah. Ellen gets that every single night on TV.
So you're up late.
Yeah.
Have you seen though now where bands, I mean, especially in the 80s where, everybody's doing drugs, everybody's partying, where now there's kind
now
of...
Now they lie about it.
Do they lie about it? Do they lie about it?
No,
or
what?
There's more of a, hey, I got to take care of my, I got to take care of my voice. I can't be doing a bunch of drugs.
Most people have always been like that. Yeah. Most of them.
What do you mean more?
More people than ever now are like that.
Are taking care of themselves
even back in the day, it was more mixed, but nowadays it's like, I don't think about staying out after the show because they're going to drive on to another city or they're flying out on a private that night or they're going to just go home and crash and go to the next place. So people are very aware of what they're eating, what they're drinking and not drinking and resting. They have an extraordinary life, but I'll tell you something. If you've ever lived out of a suitcase, you know how hard it is. It's okay, we're flying. You're staying in a nice hotel. People are looking after you. You still got to do it, and you got to keep it together.
Jet lag's a real thing, even if you're a celebrity.
Just traveling lag.
Yeah, totally.
It's hard. I travel a lot. I love it. I just soon sit on a plane and be somewhere else the same day. It happens a lot, and I still enjoy doing it because it means typically that I'm going to be somewhere where somebody wants to see me, namely the group or the hall that I'm doing the show in.
Yeah, the days of Motley Crue though are kind of not so much anymore.
They're playing in Vegas.
I'm
interested. I'm going up there tomorrow because we have a show with Tom Kiefer's Cinderella there, who's playing here this week. Great show, and I'm up against Motley Crue, and I think we're winning.
Wow.
I hope so.
Love it.
Awesome, yeah.
Thank you so much for coming in. Really appreciate this conversation. We got to take a quick break right now, and then I'm going to go on a little tour of the newsroom, get a preview of the shows coming up.
Yep, and I have to get ready for the 4 o'clock news.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, guys. Yeah.
Welcome back into Fox 10 Talks. You are not done with me yet. You still got a few more minutes with me. However, my co-host is gone. Our guest also gone. It's just me here. That's because we're switching gears. We got a lot to do here before the news. Ellen is anchoring the 4 o'clock today, so she had to get back there to start going through her scripts, getting everything ready for that so that when you see her on TV, she is as sharp as ever and doing a great job doing that with John Hook and anchoring the newscasts like that. It takes a lot of work behind the scenes to make those things happen, so she's got to go get prepared for that. That means I'm going to stand up right now. And actually, real quick, Melinda, I see your comment. Yay, another tour. Let's see who we get to see in the office today. Melinda, I love your energy. That was fantastic. It was fantastic. What's going on, everyone, as we switch over here to the Levi camera. That's what I'm going to call it, because we have the wonderful photojournalist Levi walking around with us today as he is doing, I always say this, you guys don't get the same view I do. You only see this side of the camera pointed at me. I have a wonderful view here because I get to see the absolute amazing talent of Levi, not just shooting this wonderfully and getting everything going like this great, but walking full speed backwards and opening doors with his body. You know that like classic move where like you're talking to someone and you walk backwards into a door, open it up? That's what he just did to 2 different doors. You try doing that while holding a camera and a light, mind you. He's got a light on his right hand, camera on the left hand doing this right now. There is so much skill in this building that we just don't talk about or see every day. And Levi, you're just showing off today. You're doing a fantastic job. We got Trenton, the EP, over here, getting the door right now. Great door holding, Trenton. Gotta love Trenton. He's always good fun. You always see him. You'll see him tomorrow, Fox 10 Talks at 3 o'clock as we enter into the newsroom right now. A hush comes over the room as everyone's terrified I might walk up to them. Don't worry. Don't worry. I know you're all busy doing work. Hi, Dennis. I see you. Making eye contact. That's always scary. Hi, Heather. How's it going?
Hi. It's going well.
I love that. Heather, you're our wonderful EP, our executive producer at night. So you are the executive producer for the 9 o'clock and the 10 o'clock shows, which means that you are in charge of us at nighttime, and we need someone like you to be in charge of us.
I'm more like team captain.
That's good perspective. I like that. What do we got going on tonight?
Well, right now, we actually have some breaking news. Sky Fox is over the scene. There was a shooting involving Avondale police.
Okay.
Over here, Elwood Street and 125th Avenue. So Sky Fox is over that scene right now. So we even have that as breaking news in the 4 o'clock show.
So this is so interesting. This perspective here that you're getting right now is basically, this is Avondale police. They're reaching out to us, explaining this scene that we're hearing on scanners. Are saying, here's the early information, what we're working on. And then we launch the helicopter. Sky Fox goes in the air. They're immediately able to bring us some of those visuals that you're seeing right there. And then we're recording that too as it's going through into our system, so that at 4 o'clock in 27 minutes, viewers can see that too. What's going on?
That's right. Yeah, and we actually have Sky Fox over the air, and then we have Rick Davis, our photog, on the ground. So we have another perspective on the ground of the same scene. The good news is we don't believe any officers were hurt, and there's still no threat to the public. So this seems like it's going to be a scene that wraps up pretty quickly. But
we'll see, and we'll see what's going on. Avondale, I'm sure they'll give us some more information as that goes along. Also, when we're doing the news here at 3:33, we're working for the 4 o'clock, we're working for the 5 o'clock, the 6 o'clock, but there's already stories that we know there's something going to be going on at 9 and 10. Big school board meeting tonight.
Yeah,
right?
Tonight the Kyrene Elementary School Board meeting is meeting tonight, and they're talking about their long-range plan recommendations, which could include closing 9 elementary schools or elementary and middle schools. So I've already started working on a map.
Oh, wow.
To
9 of them.
Give viewers a perspective of where these schools are and what this means for the community.
And this is such a massive school district. The fact that they have 9 that they can close tells you how many buildings they have.
Right.
Yeah.
The population demographics have shifted, but so they would still have a lot of schools serving the needs of the students, but they have a lot of schools that are not at full capacity. So this district's debating, is it worth keeping these schools open at half capacity or merging schools to make it more efficient.
So much goes into these decisions. These schools, they're a huge part of the community. It's not just a place where the kids go and learn. You've got all these communities that are built around the fact that there's an elementary school there or a junior high. And then when that gets stripped away, it's kind of like you're losing a little piece of the identity of that area, right?
Yeah, we're expecting a lot of families there, very passionate about it. You know, they don't want their kids' school to close. Where will they go? Is it walking distance anymore? So a lot of questions to be answered for the district tonight.
All right, we'll look forward to that 9 and 10 o'clock. We'll have all of that. Keep doing the great work, everything you're doing out here. Appreciate you talking to us for a few minutes here, Heather. Appreciate you.
We'll see you on air at 10 o'clock.
At 10 o'clock. Yes, that's right. Anchoring the 10 o'clock tonight. Should be a lot of fun. We got Mark Martinez with me, too. He's over there. I'm not going to get you, Mark. Don't worry. You keep working. Oh, Levi, are you okay? Levi did a great job. There's a glass wall right there, and it's tough to see that sometimes on that turn. He did an awesome job. Just wanted to walk into the sports office here just because this is a different look than we normally see. I love this team. Hey, we got Richard Signs in here right now. I was just going to do a little tour of the sports office, but anytime I got Richard Signs.
That's our candy station over there. So we always have camp. I'm the guy that brings it. You wonder why I'm so sweet? This is why. Look.
What do you got?
We've got Jolly Ranchers.
Oh my
here.
goodness.
We've got chocolate.
Oh, do you have some gummy
Gummy bears?
Oh,
Yeah.
I love those things. Okay, I'm gonna go for
Levi,
one.
would you like one? Levi Pettigrew doing a great job as always. Later, he says. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to feed you live on the air. That's for sure. But yeah, hey, we're getting ready for the shows. We're getting ready for the D-backs taking on the Giants. They
oh my gosh,
unbelievable run so far. You know?
Have you ever seen anything like this in your whole career covering Arizona teams?
I've never seen a fire sale like this, and then it worked that same year. Usually, okay, I see the moves they're making for the future. They're acquiring picks. They're getting young talent. They're getting rid of expiring contracts. Yeah. All right, let's take a knee for this season, but we're looking forward. And then next thing you know, wait a minute. What about now? Why not us?
Why not?
They start this series, right? They start this 12-game stretch, down 12 games left to play, 9 straight at home, taking on the Giants, a team that was right above them in the standings. They beat them, and they beat them good last night. And now the Mets are still above the D-backs. The D-backs are now a game and a half out of the wild card spot, 11 to play. Mets are the team above them. They're taking on the Padres, a good team that has something to play for. So a lot of D-back fans are going to be Padre fans this week. That's for sure.
I think that's certainly true. I got to say this, too. Something that's been such a fun storyline of this year, Geraldo Perdomo.
Yeah.
My wife's favorite player from that 2023 run. She just loved the fact that he always had a big smile on his face. He always does a little fun trash talk at second whenever there's a replay going on the thing. Right. He's always having fun with that talk. But he always has like a 14-pitch at bat, it seems like. Yes. He just works those at bats so well. My wife's just always loved him. And now all of a sudden, I think he might be the best player in baseball.
He's one of them. That's for sure. You thought Ketel Marte was. And now Perdomo kind of feeds off of that. And that's the thing is, he's not only a great player, he's a great person, a great teammate. He's one of those guys in the locker room. That's a healthy locker room, that D-back. Those guys care for each other. They're having a lot of fun. There were a couple of guys that left, like Gino Suarez was one of them. That was one of those guys that always had a smile, always had that certain energy. But you still have those core guys. And I think a big help for the D-backs was getting Gabby Moreno back. You need a good catcher that can also hit like Gabby does, and he's one of those guys that's a glue guy for the team on the field. And it's just, look, it's almost like the playoffs have already started for this franchise, and it's a win-win no matter what. When you consider after that, all the trades right before the trade deadline, you're thinking, oh well, so much for this season. But not so fast.
And if they do make the playoffs, watch out.
I know.
Because this team is hot right now. So you never know what can happen.
Exactly.
Richard Sons, we'll see you tonight. That game tonight.
We got all kinds of coverage. We're also talking Cardinals. They're 2-0. Sun Devils start, Big 12 play against Baylor. We got Brad Gass here. He's ready to go. Brad's ready to go.
We're ready.
You guys have too much fun in the sports office. I love it.
See what all that candy does? He's on a sugar high, people.
We have fun. I love that. All right, so we're going to be talking D-backs tonight, 9 and 10 o'clock with Richard Signs. I know you watch us on Fox 10. I know you've seen Richard Signs on TV. It's always fantastic. When I'm anchoring with Richard, you'll always hear giggling going on in the corner. That is me just always having just a ton of fun with him. I'm just coming over here just to kind of show you our studio as we're getting ready here and getting ready. Looks like they just wrapped up a taping of Newsmaker. We always got that going on the weekends. We've got Erica Horvatine here. She heard my voice and said, oh my gosh, let's talk with Steve. Let's have fun.
Hello.
How you doing?
I was doing radio.
Oh, you were doing radio.
Yeah.
See, we're busy here.
Yeah.
And it's 3:39. She's got to be on TV in 21 minutes. Let me do math. 21 minutes.
Yeah.
Not only is she going to come and talk to us for a few minutes here, you also have to go and do radio too. It's a constant stream.
Yes, I do radio and update the web.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can find our forecast online. And then get the show ready. So we've got some changes this week.
Now, rain?
Yes.
It's always
Good
exciting.
changes.
Rain?
Good changes.
Do you hear like the trepidation of like rain?
I know.
Rain?
Well,
Really?
unfortunately, it looks like a heat wave is on the way next week, but we're not going to talk about that right
We're done
now.
with that. What kind of heat wave? Like a bad one?
No. At this point in the season, our bad heat waves luckily don't really go past 110. It'd be very, very rare.
Yeah.
So our heat wave would consist of like 105 to 110
Oh. Okay.
next week.
Oh.
But
That's long range though.
it's long range.
It'll
We
change,
have-
right?
Yes. Well, I don't know about that, but yeah, things are starting to kind of settle down
Yeah.
in terms of the forecast because they were looking kind of. It was hard to decipher what was going to happen as
Yeah.
of just yesterday for the next 10 days, but now it's kind of becoming more clear.
Okay.
So we have the rise of humidity. So we're going to be feeling muggy again for the
Mhm.
second half of the week. We have rain chances returning. And actually tomorrow we could even see another dust storm, but
Oh.
it could be later in the evening. Now that our sun sets so early, a lot of the dust storm activity might be after dark, which can be bad for driving.
I think for several years now, we've kind of heard that term dust storm going on, and we kind of like, all right, yeah, it'll be just a little bit thicker. After that one we had this summer, though, I think everyone hears dust storm a little differently now. And they're like, okay, I got to
know.
be prepared for this thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't necessarily say it might maybe as bad as that one,
Yeah.
but we have the same kind of setup. Storms are going to be in southern Arizona, kind of down by I-8 toward Casa Grande and further south from there. And if those storms do end up pushing an outflow northward, we could end up seeing a dust storm tomorrow evening. So that's what I'm tracking right now.
Okay.
Today, pretty quiet. So
Yeah.
nothing really to tell you about today. And then later in the week, just more daily rain chances. Best chances are Thursday and Friday for us here in the Valley.
Is it nice to be able to tell people there might be a chance of rain?
Yeah, it's the best.
It's like that out here. That's just amazing.
I know. I mean, I get yelled at a lot for certain kinds of weather, so it's just nice when somebody says something good about my forecast.
Oh, we always say good things about your forecast. It's not you. You're just providing Mother Nature's information. Erica, thank you so much. We'll see you on TV in 18 minutes from right now. Appreciate you. Thanks for joining us on another little newsroom tour. We had so much fun. We'll see you on TV in 18 minutes.
Hello and welcome to the Drone Zone. I'm drone pilot Brian Kay.
And I'm drone pilot Joe Tillman, BK. We have the need for speed today.
We do have the need for speed. We're going to start our engines.
Where are we going?
We're going to a Radford Racing School, and we're going to talk a little bit about cars and droning them.
Who doesn't love cars?
Who doesn't love cars?
What was your first car?
My first car was actually a truck. It was a Ford Splash.
Do they even make those anymore?
I don't think they make them anymore. It was a Ford Splash, and it had a neon decal, a green neon decal that said Splash on the side. It was like a little party truck. Okay. I guess I could describe it as. What was your first car?
My first car was a Nissan 200SX, and what made it really cool, it was one of the first digital cars, so it looked like Knight Rider in there for the first time.
Okay.
So yeah, it was pretty cool. It was pretty rad.
Well, in my truck, the thing that I loved the most was I had like an 8-disc changer, an 8 CD disc changer.
Nice.
So I could put many CDs in there.
Sure.
Put it on shuffle, and it was like, BK Radio, the birth of BK Radio.
And I'm guessing you probably still have the CDs to this day.
I probably do still have the CDs because I'm a fan of physical media.
Yes, 100%.
So Phoenix, we have the Phoenix Raceway, which hosts a bunch of NASCAR races.
NASCAR comes to town. It's like its own.
It's huge.
It's its own little city.
Yeah.
When NASCAR comes to town.
It's a big event. We've covered it multiple times. We cover it every time they come out here. And what's unique about the track is it has a unique dog leg layout, which challenges drivers across all the series that race there. Do you know what a dog leg track is?
I do not. I do remember going out there for a NASCAR race and not having any earphones. And
it's loud.
And I couldn't hear for the rest of the day.
It is so loud.
We were right by the track.
Yeah, if you're right by the track there where the car's going, you need to wear
the rest of the day.
Well, a dog leg track is a unique kink in a certain section of the track.
Okay.
Which, a little fun fact there.
All right.
For Phoenix Raceway.
Sure.
But Joe, let's get to Radford Racing School. Now, this is a racing school in Chandler where thrill seekers, people who want to become race car drivers, or just people who want to become better drivers can go and, hone their skills.
It's a really cool place. They have a lot of cool cars that you can drive and you can try out. And they also have the skid car, which is an amazing car, and it teaches you how to drive in different kind of conditions.
Yeah, it's very cool. Take a look at the Drone Zone, and we'll talk about it when we get back.
Hi, my name is Danny Bullock. I'm the chief instructor here at the Radford Racing School. Well, today you're at the Radford Racing School, a place that's been in business for over 56 years. What we do here is our primary focus is to work on driver training, whether it's a teenager looking to be a better driver on the streets, all the way up to the seasoned race car driver who's looking to brush up before their next race, and everybody in between, driving enthusiasts, people who have been thinking about maybe doing some track driving or get into auto racing. This is the premier place to go learn how to be a better driver for all of that. We've got a wide variety of classes to fit the needs of just about everyone out there. We've got the Teenage Defensive Driving course. We've got the GT Road Racing class. We've got our High Performance Driving class. We have an executive protection program for those that are in the security industry. We teach them how to drive in a more strategic manner. In that class, we teach drivers how to do the pit maneuver, how to do reverse 180s. We also train a lot of military and police personnel as well in that class. Arizona is a great place to live. We have sun for 360 days out of the year. But there are times in the summertime during monsoon season and even in the wintertime where you have some storms roll through where the weather can change pretty rapidly. You have a monsoon come through, all of a sudden it's a bunch of dust, you have zero visibility. People don't know how to respond in those situations. And coming here will help give them the confidence to work in these different environments that we are faced with in driving in today's traffic in Arizona. One of the most important and most valuable tools we have here at the Radford Racing School is our skid car. And what we can do with this car is we can take a driver out and train them on how to recognize and recover from an oversteer slide where the back end slides out from underneath them, or the understeer slide where you turn the front wheels and the car doesn't respond very well and wants to continue going straight. When you look at this car, it's kind of wonky looking. It's got these big, almost training wheel looking things on the outside of it. And people ask all the time, oh, are those there to keep the car from flipping over? They're actually there to help raise the back end or the front end off the ground a little bit to reduce that grip and make it feel like, and to simulate what it feels like driving in snow or in rain. What we would want drivers to take away from the school is a confidence in knowing that they've gained a skill set in the short 2 or 3 or 4 days they've been here that will help them stay out of trouble when a situation arises.
All right, that was Radford Racing Drone Zone. Joe, one of my favorite things that when we were there, we asked, how fast can you go in these cars? And they said, as fast as you want.
That skid car is amazing, actually, and it's a useful tool they have too, because I've been in it a couple times.
I've been in that skid car as well.
And the thing they teach you the most is if you're in a spin, to always look the direction you want to go to and then turn into the spin, and they actually show you how to do it and what that looks like.
It's very cool. They can adjust the height of the training wheels, I guess you call them, to, show you different kinds of situations you could be in. When we're droning moving vehicles, like we were at Radford Racing, we were droning the cars. There's some tips you want to keep in mind and some safety measures you want to keep in mind when you're a drone pilot. Let's talk about that.
Well, like if you're the pilot in command, one of the first things you want to do is coordinate with the driver and with the staff that you're out there. So you want to go over with the driver your flight plan, what you expect to do, where you're going to go, where is the driver going, where is he going to go, and coordinate and get all that stuff together before you shoot.
Coordination is key. And then I'd say the other thing you want to do is, the car on the track might have nothing in front of it, but above there might be wires or power lines, anything like that. And that's what we kind of came across at Radford. On their race course, they had a couple wires right across the practice area, the racetrack, the practice area. And so we had to keep an eye on that, make sure the drone wasn't low to hit those. Correct. So you got to keep an eye on what's above the car at all times as well.
Another thing when you're droning something fast like a race car is put your drone in sport mode. And it might, it won't be able to keep up with that car because the car goes very, very fast. Yeah. But you can do better than in normal mode and make sure your frame rate at a higher frame rate when shooting too.
We always want to prioritize the safety of the occupants, not only in the vehicle, but of the drone. Make sure the drone is safe.
True.
So next, we're going to a classic car salvage yard. I guess you could say where cars go to die.
Wow, okay.
So let's take a look at that.
What we do here is we are an antique wrecking yard that offers parts and projects for cars from 1930s to some 80s, domestic only. I'm Brian Smythe. I'm the general manager for Desert Valley Auto Parts. Desert Valley's been open since 1993. Our inventory is mainly going to be classic cars. We do everything from Chevys, Ford, Dodge, Packards, Kaisers, you name it. If it's American, we've got a little bit of every make and model and year. Well, customers are welcome to come here, walk around. We often get customers from all over the world, and they're welcome to walk the yard. We pull everything for them, so they just kind of take a stroll, take the self-guided tour, and if they find something they like, we kind of work out a deal with them, pull it, and we ship it if they need it, or they take it with them. Often people come here with no intention of actually getting parts. They just either see us in some TV shows that we've done and movies that we've been a scene for, and often they'll just kind of walk around and gaze at stuff they used to drive or their dad had when they're younger, and it's just more of a stop for a vacation point than anything. As far as inventory goes, we have collectively between our yard and Casa Grande around 10,000 cars. The North Valley location primarily takes care of 1960 and newer, and then our Casa Grande location takes care of 1960 and older. Casa Grande is pretty unique because of the age of vehicle. There aren't a lot of yards that are still open today that have anything collected in that state, which is rust-free, collision-free sheet metal, which is what people really want. There's certain cars that they don't make anything for. Sheet metal is the heart of a car, and you have to have that. And without it, a project's worthless. We keep that yard as open as we possibly can, and there's just a lot of neat things. We don't have just cars there. We have old train passenger cars. We have just a collective of stuff. Some people just come out because they want to see something old. Some people might have a car and they don't know exactly how that piece goes on that car and they need a reference. There's not a magazine that has every single car like we have, and to see it on a car, a lot of times that's worth $1 million to a guy because they need to know how it goes back on. It's like a time capsule. You get to walk around and see stuff that you just don't see on the roads. People have an interest for history, and the car culture is a great example of what American history is about, and it seems like it's going to last forever.
So BK, what do you think the number one part is that people go to yards like that for?
Oh man, I don't know, something with the engine, because a lot of these cars are really old, so maybe they don't make that part anymore.
Nope.
No?
It's the sun visor. Number one thing people go to the yard for. Sun visor.
Now you're doing the fun facts.
There I go, little FFs all around.
Well, it was pretty cool to see all those old cars there. Like you said, people go there to find parts, if things are rebuilding or collecting. Nowadays, we got electric cars. We got the Waymos.
In Phoenix, we have Waymos all around. And the unique thing is they don't go on freeways. They just do city streets.
Right.
And they're almost up by my house.
Okay.
They're getting further and further north. But the weird part is, it's like it doesn't go on the east side of me, but it goes on the west side of me.
I don't know.
But Waymos are fun. I've taken Waymos a lot of time.
What is it like? I've never been in a Waymo yet.
It's a unique and trippy experience because you look up and there's no one in the front seat, and the steering wheel is just driving by itself.
Ghost driver.
And we've never had an issue in a Waymo.
So you have always felt safe, like this
100%.
is cool?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
I think I trust a computer over a human.
Wow.
That's just me.
All right, Joe.
Yeah, well, there you go. Well, BK, they just waved the checkered flag on us. Take us home.
All right. I'm drone pilot Brian Kay.
And I'm drone pilot Joe Tillman.
Keep your drone soaring and your adventures exploring.